What's happening, everyone? How are we? So we're here today for another quick live. It's not going to be long because it's just about to rain here, and when it rains here it absolutely pisses down. And I mean, I like you guys enough to hold off water skiing for half an hour, but not enough to sit out here in the rain and get absolutely drenched. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna go through this one really quickly. We've got two really cool ones today, which is why you've got stubborn body parts and why they won't grow, okay? And then the other one is alleviating anxiety, because literally I reckon about 95% of people will deal with anxiety at some stage in their life. Okay, so it's a really good one. It's one thing that not a lot of people touch on, and not a lot of people know about. Most people get anxiety and they think, all right, I've got to go to the docs and get some SSRIs and some antidepressants, and that's it. It's like, no, fuck, it's actually a lot easier than that, and taking that shit actually often sends you backwards. Only select people actually need that. So yeah, but anyway, as always, if you have any questions, ask them away or shoot them on in, and I'll be going through all the stuff through the shred community. So we got offline at the moment. Kimberly, George, the IT guy, that you've all heard from today. By the way, guys, everyone from the JCF team, everyone who's in our team and you're training with us, okay, George has sent you an email today saying that we're updating our systems. We are updating our systems because we've got this really cool new thing that we're implementing, which is going to make life a lot better for you guys. And we're going to have, you know, better support, faster support, better programming, everything, okay, with this new system that we're putting in place. So you all will have received an email. Yes, it is from us. George works with me. So yeah, you will have received an email from us, and we're going to crank this thing out literally as quickly as we can, because you guys are going to love it. Alright, who else have we got on here? Big Lucas Glasson, good to have you here again. Timmy Donovan, Woodsy, James Van Elswick, one of my elite guys. Azzy Faye, another one of my soon-to-be elite guys. Alright, awesome. Okay, I'm just going to share this in the shred community now, so while we get loaded up. Yeah, one thing, guys, as well, one thing that a lot of people just don't talk about at all is anxiety. Literally, it is so common. If you're in the shred community, you probably see this. Heaps of people are asking about the use of antidepressants and all that sort of stuff. You know, how does it affect you? What supplements can and can't you take? It's actually really super common. So one thing that, you know, that happens in life at the moment is it gets pushed down, and it gets like, people talk down about people with anxiety, but it's really super fucking common. I've had anxiety, you know what I mean? Like in the past, when I had my bad gut, that's anxiety absolutely smashed me. It really sucked. So I know how you feel. I've been there, you know, and it's not fun at all. So the thing is, you shouldn't be afraid to talk about it. Like, it's just a neurochemical imbalance that literally every person goes through at some stage in life, particularly you guys who are all type A personalities. You are particularly prone to anxiety. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions, speak up about it, because you'll find in the group some of the most successful athletes that we've got suffer with anxiety and deal with it, and we work through it with them, you know. And the other most important thing you got to remember is it's actually fixable really fucking easily. I mean, I got rid of mine like that. I work with most people, and when I start working with them, I say, look, I expect your anxiety to be gone within 2 weeks. That's for my, you know, top tier guys. So yeah, one thing that it kind of annoys me that it's not spoken about more, because it is something that's super common for so many people. Alright, but anyway, let's get cracking on into it. Numero uno, stubborn body parts, okay? Who here has got stubborn body parts that don't grow? I'm going to scroll through this. We've got Fuzzy on here, Jordan Begley, Kyle Westerberg. Kyle, you've got a few stubborn body parts that won't grow. But pretty much, what we need to do is, when we look at stubborn body parts and why they won't grow, you've got to think of what actually causes muscle growth. And what causes muscle growth is stress on a muscle. Stress, which causes adaptation. Stress is the driving force for any positive change within our body. When we go in and we lift weights, our muscles aren't like enjoying that. They're getting stressed, they're getting torn, they're getting broken, all those sorts of things are happening to them. That is what's going on in there biochemically. When you cause that stress, it then causes the muscle to adapt and then grow from it. So if you're getting muscles and body parts which just aren't growing, you've got to look at the two reasons why they aren't. And these are you training hard enough? Are you following a training program which is going to give you enough volume, enough intensity, enough frequency in order to cause your muscles to grow? All right, so you've got to ask that. Is that the case? Is that happening? All of my guys, everyone who trains with us, yes, you are getting more than enough stress on the muscles in order to make them grow. Okay, if you're not training with us, you really want to look at that. Okay, if you are not contracting the muscle well, okay, then it's not going to grow. You see all these blokes who bench like this, okay? They bench like that, and they wonder why their chest won't grow. They've got this little pigeon chest, and they've got these internally rotated shoulders that just sit like this, and they just never ever grow. And you think, okay, why are you not growing them? Because you're not using your fucking chest, you know what I mean? Just because you're doing a bench press does not mean you're recruiting the chest at all. Doesn't mean it. Just because you're doing a bicep curl doesn't mean you're recruiting your biceps. If your curls look like this and you're constantly elevating your arm like that and you're using momentum to get the weight up, okay, that is not what a bicep curl is meant to do. A bicep curl is meant to be concentrated on flexing the arm like that, not bloody throwing your arm up into the air like that, okay? You need to make sure that you are stressing the muscle. You need to make sure you're thinking about utilizing the muscle, right? Rob Vetter's just said here that arms are one thing that he can't train. That is super common because the arms, it's really, really easy to cheat. Like super, super easy to cheat when you're training arms, okay? You can throw the weight around and minimize the tension on it, okay? Yeah, sure, you can curl really, really well. You can curl some bigger weight and all that, but it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? In the gym today, I was curling 30 kilos each arm, all right? 30 each arm. And I was doing it and I was like, fuck, that contraction's really not good. So what did I do? I dropped it down kilos, brought it back to the 20s and started doing strict curls on them, and it was so much better. All right, the same thing with my deadlifts, okay? With my deadlifts, I got a tendency to use my back because my back's quite big and quite well developed, whereas my glutes, my hamstrings are far less so. And so what I was doing today is I was making sure that I wasn't going as heavy. I dropped the weight back down to about 180, okay? And I was just making sure that my contractions were really, really on point with my glutes, and I was getting a hectic booty pump because we all want a booty, all right? Guys, pro tip for you, girls love a big booty, all right? Love it, absolutely love it. I don't know why they love it, but they love it, all right? So make sure that you are contracting the booty when you are doing glutes, okay? You really, really need to make sure that at all times that the target muscles are on and you're thinking about contracting them. Another thing that really, really helps go on with this is actually learning the anatomy of it. I did a shitload of study at uni, okay, so I've done that for years. What you guys should do is just actually learn the anatomy of how the muscles work and how they actually pull and the planes in which they pull so that you can understand how they work. A really easy one, another example of this, is understanding that with the biceps, if you want to grow bigger arms, one of the functions of the biceps is to not only flex the arm like this, but also to supinate like that. So if you end up doing your bicep curls, see if I can get it. You can do your bicep curls like that and actually twist your pinky outwards, you'll get a much bigger pump, right? A much bigger pump and much better growth with your biceps, okay? That's just one example. So learn your anatomy, learn how they're moving, make sure your muscles are contracting, and then on top of that, make sure you're training hard enough. If you train like a bitch, you're not going to be stressing the muscles enough to make them grow, all right? Train like a bitch, you look like a bitch, you know what I mean? You look like a pussy, you look small, all right? Train small, you look small at the end of the day. All right, the next one. One that I think is going to resonate with a lot of people here is talking about anxiety, all right? As I said before, nobody talks about anxiety, and it really, really sucks because so many people need help with this shit, all right? When you get anxiety, what is occurring is you have an immense amount of stress that your body is perceiving, okay? Your body is responding to lots of stress, lots of psychological stress, lots of physical stress, lots of emotional stress, lots of digestive stress, and, you know, a lack of relaxation, right? That is what's causing your anxiety, okay? The easiest way to fix your anxiety, right, and to start getting progress with it is to alleviate the issues with the gut. If you start with the gut, then everything gets better. Why is this? Well, let's look at it biochemically. Biochemically, anxiety is a lack of GABA, okay? It is also a lack of serotonin. When you have a lack of serotonin, it makes your GABA deficiency even worse because it impacts the GABA receptor. So, where's the majority of the serotonin and the GABA produced in the body? Oh, it's in the gut, okay? Add into this as well, dopamine has an anxiolytic effect, meaning it reduces the presence of anxiety and reduces the perception of anxiety. Where is that largely made? Oh, in the gut as well. So if you start fixing your gut, you can actually start making more of these feel-good neurohormones, okay? That is how it starts making you feel better. On top of that too, If you start fixing your gut, you reduce systemic inflammation. Now, when you're highly, highly inflamed, your body goes into the stress response, because the inflammatory response and the stress response are like literally the same thing. Okay, so you get elevated levels of cortisol. And when you get elevated levels of cortisol, you get the prolonged action of adrenaline. When you have more adrenaline floating around, you get less GABA, less serotonin, and less dopamine all at the same time. So you're constantly jittery. That is why you feel this way. That is the basic biochemistry behind it, okay? So if you start alleviating the gut, you immediately nip in the bud some of the biggest causes of anxiety ever, all right? On top of this too, the next thing you've got to look at is you've got to look at the stress around you and are you dealing with it well? So we consider stresses like, feeling stressed and feeling uptight as stresses, but what about the other stuff? What about looking at how much you're sleeping? If you're not sleeping and you're not recovering at all, doesn't it make sense that you get anxiety? Don't you think that you would just get anxiety because you're not sleeping enough, you're not recovering enough, and you're constantly on edge because you're smashing coffees after coffees after coffees, bumping up your adrenaline levels all the time? You know what I mean? It's logical. You need to sleep more. Make sure that you're getting in a minimum of 8. If you have anxiety, aim for 10 hours of sleep a night, and make sure that it's good quality sleep. Most people with anxiety will sleep like shit, okay? That is just what happens because you have poor GABA levels. So you need to fix that. You need to sleep a lot better. The next thing is make sure that you're meditating. Make sure that you are looking to take time to yourself, all right? You want to take time to yourself. You want to sit down, reflect, and look at your life and actually be able to examine it. If you can do that, then you'll be much, much more relieved, okay? Instead of playing back all those shitty situations that happen through the day that we always do, why don't you take a step back and look at them and think about why they occurred and then how you can fix them for next time in future, all right? And that's a massive, massive part. Using meditation and self-reflection can dramatically reduce your anxiety. The next thing moving forward from this is get a workout program which actually suits you. If you have anxiety, you are often at risk of burning out with workouts which are way, way too hard, way too complex, or way too high in volume or intensity for you. So if you've got anxiety, you need to make sure that your workouts are specifically tailored to suit that so that they don't make your anxiety worse, because they can make it worse in a big, big way, all right? So that is what you need to do to start alleviating anxiety. On top of this too, my team and I, we do a shitload with that, an absolute heap with anxiety and making sure that you're recovering well, and we look at absolutely every single aspect of it. So if you need a hand with that, shoot us an inbox and we'll get on to you. Next one. Q&A time. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all these questions right now. I'm going to answer them, okay? If you guys have any other questions, ask away, all right? I don't have long here before the storm hits, so we'll have to pack it up. So get in quick before I have to go. As always as well, I've got to tell you this public service announcement. If you do not like or comment on this post, Zuckerberg's going to hide me from you. So if you want to keep seeing these things, make sure you like or comment on it. Okey-doke. Who have we got online now? Shane Eric. Shane's just asked, what is a good cheat drink to have as a reward? Coke Zero. Mate, I wouldn't bother with a cheat drink. Just drink water and get used to enjoying water. I actually like the Subido Aminos. They taste pretty awesome, so I guess you could have that as a sweet drink. If you mix the creaming soda stuff in, the creaming soda, BCAAs, EAAs, electrolytes, you mix them in with like soda water, it actually tastes like creamy soda, so that's a good one. The other thing is just having Jelly Babies post-workout, like most of our guys do now. Jelly Babies post-workout, a little bit of Cocoa Pop, stuff like that, okay? It is, what you're thinking of is a good idea, man. Post-workout's the best time to get a reward in. Alright, next one. Shane Erickson said, stubborn area is the side fat under the rib cage area. Alright, so side fat just in there that you can't lose. Man, that often comes back to, number one, you just need to get leaner. Some areas of your body will hold more fat, okay? They have a lower density of adrenoceptors, they get less blood flow. You just need to start burning more of the fat throughout your body so that your body actually has to start utilizing those stubborn fat stores. Once you start getting rid of them, it gets way, way easier. Guys, I didn't used to be super, super lean all the time. There's no fucking way I was like 6%, 7% like I am now all the time. What happens is over time, I just got leaner and leaner and leaner, kept cutting, stayed lean, burned through all that fat, and now I really don't have any stubborn fat stores anywhere. Drew Johnson, welcome with you, big fella. Michael Foster, bloody good. My back continues in my hammies. Mate, if you have got no glutes, then you just need to focus on utilizing them. Release the QL, the quadratus lumborum, the lower back. You need to release that, stretch that out, and then activate the glutes, and then you'll start getting your booty. It'll happen quick, mate. Don't you worry. Juzzy, good to have you boys on here. Sam Arnott has just asked, benefits of carb backloading. Loving your lives, mate. Glad you like them, brother. The benefits of carb backloading, alright? Numero uno, better sleep, alright? Much, much better sleep. That is the best thing by far. The second thing after that is it improves your cognitive function. You actually think better throughout the day, alright? So if you think better, you're going to be able to perform better. Alright, on top of that too, I see it in certain cases of higher level athletes, I will actually see increased fat loss when doing carb backloading, alright? So I know sure as shit that it works for me, and that's why I literally follow carb backloading all the time, or at least have the vast majority of my carbs backloaded. On top of that too, I guess you could delve into looking at the gut microbiome and how it interacts with that, because at night, that's when your gut microbiome is healing, replenishing, and all that sort of stuff, and it's a really good time for it to be fed. So if you're giving it lots of fiber, lots of carbs, it can ferment those foods really, really well in the right places, and then your gut actually might end up being happier, okay? So there are some reasons why I like carb backloading. Drew Johnson's said, meditation is something I'm not good at. What do you recommend to get into it? Alright, meditation. I know it can suck when you're starting to get into it. Literally what I do is I go into a quiet room, okay? I'll whack on my orange glasses so that there's no blue light coming in. Sit down, chill out, and then think about all the good shit that happens in my life, okay? Everything that I'm thankful for, everything that's awesome, all the good stuff that's ever happened to me, all right, all those sorts of things, that is what I think about in my 10 to 15 minutes of meditation, all right? Every single day I make time to do that. And you know how I feel after it? I feel fucking awesome, and it's honestly the best, all right? On top of this too, you can also use an app called Headspace, all right? So I've used it a few times. It's really good for meditating, so just before you go to bed and you want to meditate and turn off your mind, Headspace is fantastic. Woodsy from the JCF team, he was actually, he's awesome at it, really good at this sort of stuff, and he was actually coming up with something for meditation about that. So for some of our elite guys, so if we can, we might try and piece that together and help you guys out with it. But I've also made a video on this, which I will be releasing to all of our clients very, very shortly. Jody, can you recommend good websites and YouTube channels for guided meditation, please, James? Yes, I'll find some for you, and we'll let you know. Headspace for now, the Headspace app, that's a really good, easy one. Michael Wall, welcome. Jason Harris, hope you enjoy the content. Scotty Larnard, here he is, the boy. Scotty's one of our elite guys who is going to be competing again very soon. Hopefully he doesn't blow out too much, Scotty. We're watching you. Benny Amos. Alright, Ben Amos just said, I've been noticing when my anxiety is high, I train more often and mess up my program from overtraining. Any recommendations for suppressing the want to overtrain? Just don't fucking do it. If you know you're overtraining, stop training, alright? That's number one. Number two is you need to fix your tired but wired feeling. Ben, I can tell you right now, man, you will sit at home and you'll be exhausted, but you will just be jittery all the time. It's called tired but wired, but it's really, really super common. You need to fix up your GABA deficiency, big fella, alright? So inbox us if you want a hand with that. We do that for all of our advanced athletes, and it works really, really well. James Van Elswick, Jelly Babies, what do you count as one serve of carbs? One serve of carbs in my programs is always 50 grams of total carb content. So with the Haribo Gold Bears, they are 30 Haribo Gold Bears to one serve of carbs. For the other brands, I'm not sure. I myself, I use like the Woolworths brands ones because they're a little bit cheaper because I smashed through so many of them. And they're like 320 grams, and that gives me 220 grams of total carb content, all right? So that's what I use. And I'm trying to smash around 600, 800 grams of carbs a day. Chris Graff said, some great exercises to activate your glute med to relieve lower back pain and APT. But, all right, the best exercises to alleviate your glute med, to activate your glute med and reduce back pain are, number one, stretching out your QL. So go back and watch the live video that Woodsy and I did 2 weeks ago when I was last in Perth, okay? We'll do that one up again. We might do it professionally and hook all our clients up with it as we release a very, very new cool section of the JCF website, which is coming. Actually, you know what, I might as well announce that now. Guys, one thing that we want to do is we actually want to enhance all areas of your training. So with our online programming at the moment, pretty much we can sort out your diet, nutrition, your training. And 99% of people get fucking epic results with that. But what will get even better results for 100% of people, is actually having behind the scenes education with our whole team teaching you how to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up a low cost area of our website. All right, so it's going to be much, much cheaper. At the start, I'm thinking thinking of about $7 a week or something like that, $1 a day access to this area. And what we're going to do is we're literally going to have hundreds, if not thousands, of different exercise hints all the way, so that we can literally show you the perfect ways in which to do movements. We're going to get some of the top experts on there. We're going to get our highest level athletes on there. All right, we're going to give you access to all that content. All right, so all those proper movement patterns, how to warm up, how to stretch, what to do, what not to do, plus motivation activities and whatnot like that. So that's coming soon. If you guys want in on that and you want more information, comment below. All right, we might give you a sneak peek. Next one. Ranjot, good to have you on here, big fella. Peter Rowerig, it's always a pleasure. Christopher Simon, 1 week into an 8-week phase and I've strained my elbow. Bugger. I'm going to focus on lower body, but apart from icing and rest, is there any other solutions? Straight up, do not fucking ice. Ice is shit. What you want, when you get an injury, you want the most amount of blood flow driving in there. Why do you want more blood flow, more swelling? Because blood flow and swelling equals inflammation. Inflammation equals healing. That is what you want to do. Don't listen to the fucking Muppets out there who are telling you to fucking ice it. Don't do it whatsoever. Get heat into it, get blood into it, get it healing, and then get back into the gym sooner rather than later. Do not use anti-inflammatories. They will set you back, okay? The only types of anti-inflammatories that can help you are the herbal ones, because they don't suppress inflammation. They actually stimulate your body's inflammatory response, okay? So yes, do not ice, do not use anti-inflammatories on an injury. Just never fucking do it. It's absolutely fucking retarded, and I can't believe that the medical professionals, or unprofessionals as I like to call them, are still prescribing that, okay? So Chris, it's not ragging on you, mate. That is ragging on, whoever has told you to do that, because it's fucking stupid, straight up. All right? The only time that you put ice on something or you use painkillers or anti-inflammatories, if you're a professional footy player or a professional whatever you are, and you need to get back out on that field because your body's a commodity, all right? And even then, it's pretty dumb to do so, because you're just going to increase your risk of injury. Derek, will you be doing another live from gym with form tips? The Perth one was ace. Mate, we're going to have a whole section of the website on that, all right? A whole section of the website is going to be based on that. I want to have thousands of things so that you guys can do every single movement perfectly, okay? That is what I want to do. Alrighty guys, on that note, it is about to piss down right here. So I am going to jump off now, but if you need anything, if you want anything, okay, comment below or comment in the Shred community, okay? We're always there with the whole team, we've got myself, you've got Joel, you've got Woodsy, you've got Clint, you've got Kimmy, the whole lot of us, we're all there, even Dixie now, we're all there to help you out, okay? So make sure you get in, you ask away, and we'll help you out and we'll make you get shredded. On that note, thank you very much. It's a pleasure as always. I'll see you next time.